Welcome back. We're continuing to honor Black history. Today is part 2 of my fellowship series about the importance of gatherings in the Black community. Soul Food explores how breaking bread together feeds more than just your body.
Gatherings have always been important within the Black culture.
Through the good times and the bad, coming together to break bread is important in the Black community.
You have connectedness and interconnectedness with one another, and that's all those gatherings are.
Many gatherings include filling your plates with soul food. Some staples include fried chicken, fried cabbage, macaroni and cheese, and sweet potatoes.
Soul food is so big to me because it's not just about the food that you're eating, as you shared. It's about connecting at the soul with the soul.
The origins of soul food begin in the South during slavery, when the enslaved were given the undesirable cuts of meat and growing their own vegetables. Food was prepared making the most from what they had.
Gatherings during slavery were very important to their survival.
Fellowship allows for generations to connect and traditions to be passed down. Some of those connections happening on the dance floor.
Dancing has been something that we do no matter when we're happy, sad, disappointed, anxious, whatever it is. Dancing brings that joy out of us.
So on Friday, how much money did Smokey owe Big Worm?
Another part of Black gatherings includes playing card games and board games.
Don't necessarily just bring family together when something go wrong. You want to bring family together when something good and bring that happiness. And with my game, Black Movies Matter, that's going to bring that family and that laughter together.
So whether it's the weekly family Sunday dinner or the repast after a funeral, fellowshipping with those you love is food for the soul.
I think at the heart of it all, in most cases, you know you're in a space full of love.
And coming up after the break, Chemberly Harris is joining us, and she has a sweet treat for us. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. As we continue to honor Black history, let's keep the conversation around soul food going. Now, joining us today is Chemberly Harris with a popular soul food dessert. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first, what do you have for us? It smells so good, y'all.
I have sweet potato pie.
My favorite.
Oh, great. It is one of those pieces of soul food that has been a part of it for a long time. So much so that the original recipe was written in 1881 by Abby Fisher. So it is one of the few soul food items that you could actually find a recipe for. While like many soul food dishes, over the years it's changed and it has evolved, and different people make it different ways. It's still one of the famous staples.
It is, and it's a staple that I love dearly. Now, could you give us a little overall history of soul food?
Yeah, I could share a little bit about soul food. The interesting thing about soul food is it really came out of, or the idea of what we call soul food is much different than Southern food, and it came out of a lot of the foods that were cooked during slavery times. Some of it was from the traditional thoughts of food. So what was African yams were then replaced with sweet potatoes, but cooked very similar. Ironically, even when you talk about sweet potato pie, they initially made something like this, but different. The idea of a pie came out of the European influence.
Okay.
So many things had different influences on how we later made dishes. And every area was different. So not all of the South or even northern areas cooked some of those staples the same. And in some areas, it based off of also what they were able to cultivate.
Okay.
So you may not have had it. That's why you'll have in some places where they'll mix cabbage and greens, or it's just the greens. Some places do black-eyed peas versus red beans and rice.
Right.
So it's about it. The interesting thing about the connectedness and even the diaspora within America had an impact on how we look at soul food.
Okay. Now, quickly before we get into the mixture and a little game, you have this cookbook. Could you tell us about it and your family's history with cooking?
Absolutely. I am so honored to know that I came from a chef, or from the lineage of a chef. Ernest Gibson was what we would now call today a sous chef. Okay. For the B&O Railroad in the 1950s. That was a cookbook that he used and dedicated to my grandmother. And so it is one of those things that touches my heart, and I have tried to keep up with it and try to keep it intact as much as possible.
You see his signature right here. Now, as she tells us about the mixture, we talked about, and we saw in the clip that when we're gathering, we like to play games. So we're gonna play a little game while you pour this yummy mixture into the pie.
Yes.
So we mentioned Black Movies Matter. It was a game from a Peoria Manual High graduate, Paris Gulley. And so one clue is Andre is the character's name, and he grew up living hip hop. So what movie?
That has to be one of my favorites, Brown Sugar.
Okay, ding, ding, ding. Now, we saw in the clip, it said on Friday, how much money did Smokey owe Big Worm?
Oh, that's a good question.
It stumped them too, but I was the one that got it right.
Okay, so what was it?
$200.
Oh, should have known.
Now, what is in this mixture real quick before we go?
Absolutely. So in this mixture, you have sweet potatoes quite naturally. In the recipe that I learned, I do add flour. Not everybody uses that. Some people do. I also add corn syrup, sugar, and brown sugar. Some people only do white sugar, not the brown sugar. Vanilla flavoring, eggs, butter. And I've put tons of nutmeg and cinnamon. That's one of my things. But what's interesting is some people also do like an orange zest in their sweet potato pie. Not one that I do, because not from what I've learned how to make it, or the way my great-grandmother made it, who was also an amazing cook herself. So this is the recipe that I've had from my family.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, this was her original recipe.
All right, well, Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us. Now, hold up this one that's done, because we don't have an oven, we just have a stove top. So she's gonna save this one for us. It smells so good. Now, we'll share this full interview over on our website, ciproud.com, but don't go anywhere. Chris has your final look at the forecast when we come back.